high school. High school. I am a music fanatic. It's always been like that ever since. But the thing was that it was in high school that I more or less developed a passion. I was the only one who was brave enough to walk around with headphones when I wasn't supposed to in school. And that led to other things, me exploring DJing and all that. But a friend of mine was using the software. That time was FL, Fruity Loops 3. Right now it's FL. I use FL11.
Did you have any challenges starting out as like a beat maker?
The only challenge was how to keep it fresh. It's always been that. That has always been the challenge. My challenge has to be keeping it fresh all the time. That's one thing. Secondly, was more or less parents' approval, not in a bad way. They were just concerned that I wasn't going to go wayward or like.
They want you to be a doctor, a lawyer.
Not that they just heard some things. Like some people said some very very foul things about music that made their heart cut. So when they heard that I was doing music, even in high school, hey Charlie. But it was for a good reason because they wanted me to first off be sure that I can make enough revenue from whatever I do and be moral. And I'm not necessarily perfect, but at least they've trained me in a way that I stay away from the things that will bring me down morally. Some. Timberland and Pharrell. Timberland and Pharrell. And because they fused a lot of things together and they kept it as minimal as possible. So if you notice in my style, I try and keep it as simple as possible, but like have the elements. A lot of panning and arrangement comes to play. That's some of the hardest things, but they did it so well. So it inspired me. Then the 90s era of music, trap, especially the early 2000s, T.I., Manny Fresh, Big Timers, Lil Wayne, like Crunk, Lil Jon, EDM, rock, punk rock, Evanescence, like all the works. Like those are the things. Those are the different flavors that more or less spoke to me as I started this journey. Right now, I'm I'm paying more attention to African percussion and ethnic sounds and trying to incorporate that more in what we do. I'd say the genesis of that was Venus because I've been doing it for some time. But it got to the point where I realized I had to add something special. So I just sat down, took some advice from some of my esteemed mentors like Jaso and Panji and Talal. I just picked out some of my favorite instruments. I picked up that guitar pipe. If you hear grind, you hear the lead of instrument. That one that goes like gun, 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 gun. That comes from reggae. That comes from rock. Then the claps. The main foundation for that is Jama. But I added an EDM vibe to it by putting reverbs on the claps and letting them be as synthetic as possible. It's all from listening. I can't tell you that it was a very very informed decision to be like, okay, let me just put all these things together or what you. I just found that those are some of my favorite things, and this is from some of my favorite music. So let me just put it together and see what I can come up with. I'd say 1 or 2 years, and it's an ongoing process. I'm just 2 years deep in developing that. I've been making beats for 10, producing for 5 in those 10 years, and like it's still an ongoing process. So I'll tell you, I'm 2 years deep. FL to make my instrumentals and Cubase to record.
Okay.
FL because there's more flexibility in what you can do. Everything else is readily available for you to like play with. Cubase is like the FL of recording softwares because it's easily accessible. When you need to find something, you don't have to try too hard, and it allows for creativity. If it's long for me, I probably would stop it or like just struggle with it. But I've worked with other digital audio workstations like Reason, Logic, Pro Tools. At AI Studio, I'm forced to use Pro Tools. Shout out to AI, but I hate Pro Tools. Anyway, but at least I found a way to get around it so that we can do the basic recording process. But I record mainly in Cubase, record, mix, and master in Cubase, and make my beats and master in FL2. Nexus. Full stop. Oh, and Citrus. Hey, before Nexus, Citrus used to hold me down. They used to hold a nigga down. Like, hey, like all the wavy instruments I used to use came from me using Citrus in FL, and now God being so good, I've been able to acquire Nexus. But even with that said, I find myself using less and less and less instruments. Once you know what you want to do with your sound, my magic is not necessarily even in the VSTs I use. Sometimes I even use chopped up samples, like samples in the minor chords in wave format. And now I've taken more of an interest in percussion than synth work. So yeah. And for me, the magic is not necessarily in the plugin, but how you use the plugin.
We were about to go get pizza, right? And we were like, okay, we need to make a song. And we're in the ride, and he's put the laptop on the dashboard, and he made it in the car on the way to get pizza because we were all hungry. Yeah, you saw on Snapchat. Yeah, I was like, he's making us beat in the car. Yeah.
I would say the process of us making Dump and Coochie. Yes. Hey, it was just mad lit. I can't say everything that went down here, but yeah, very, very organic things. Yeah. Very, very organic. Yeah, very organic. Very organic chemistry. Very, 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 very sensual chemistry. Drum major, yeah. What's up? And but yeah, it's just vibes. Any session that had a vibe, that's one of my most memorable sessions. Like, yeah. But actually, there's another one too. But I don't know if I'll be. There was this session where I actually met Daddy Lumba.
Shit, that session was mine.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, like, I was trying my best not to be starstruck, but I was so starstruck, I did not even get a photo. I was just trying to play it off cool. Then, like, he just disappeared after doing what he does so magnificently. And it made me appreciate clear vocals without auto-tune. I mean, there are some artists that I work with that are gifted, whether there's Cena, there's Rhea, there's Promise even. And North, yeah. Shout out North. Even Dark was safe. But this guy said he was just taking a reference. The reference sounded better than even some of the songs that I produced. But so that lets you know that they were greats. There are greats. So that's actually one of my most memorable sessions. Then that with Nanaya too. But yeah, I'd say Daddy Lumba session, then Dump and Gucci sessions. The funny thing is that for the song I produced, that's for Lady J, Oh My, right? I had to do the promo for that song too and send the emails. So that it wasn't special. Like, the song itself was special, but it wasn't ceremonial for me at that point. I think when I was most accomplishing my song somewhere was when, like, Venus made it to Fader, Pitchfork. No, actually, Fader was out. Pitchfork, The Guardian, and some other. OK Africa, Afropunk, Afri-pop. Like, made it to a bunch of international, what do you call it? International and internationally recognized platforms. And that was fulfilling for me. That gave me the hope and the vim to, like, just keep continuing. Yeah. It's a very, very cozy setting that makes room for enough creatives. But even when you're alone too, it's not so, what do you call it? It's not overbearing. It's big, but it's cozy. But For all those audiophiles and tech stuff people, we have an Apogee quartet, but we use a stock HP NV, and we are equipped with Rode kits, the KRK Rode kits, and some Mackie monitors, and we use the Rode NT1A. Like very basic mic, but it does a lot for us, Charlie. It makes it quite easy to mix vocals if you know what you're doing. Let's just say I wish I was less ignorant to some of the things I knew, because like first of all, standing up for your right as a producer and a creative in general, and setting up your, what do you call it, all your publishing and royalty collection stuff. That's very important. I wish I also knew how to play a piano way back, because right now my learning curve wouldn't allow me to do that full time. I could probably learn how to mix and master quicker than I could learn how to play a piano and here. And that's another thing too. I wish I had known that some things too are not important earlier, like egos or how much money you make. It's about how much of a contribution you're making to your culture at the end of the day. So to those who take from this culture and not give back, what the fuck are you doing? Well, if you're being honest, I just joined PRS and BMI last year. So right now I'm about to see about that royalty move. But Charlie, right now it's all about cash on delivery. Charlie, me and my gang, cash on delivery. But I would say though that one of my mistakes was waiting too long to get signed up to a royalty collection agency, because it works. Actually, it does work. Every job I've taken up was a learning process. I mean, I used to think that it delayed me, but it just made me a 2.0 with whatever I did concerning music. It made me fight for what I was truly passionate about, and at the end of the day, take knowledge from that and add it to what I want to do for life and make it the best thing. It also taught me client relations and client service. I think that's another thing that like creatives lack. I mean, you owe it to yourself and the people that you work with to keep a good relationship, keep a good rapport, and communicate, at least even if you're not going to meet deadlines, because it's art. Art has no deadline. So you have to manage the communication in such a way that the artist knows that it's for the best, and you want to take your time and give it your best. Because even when you're lazy, like, it's legit if you tell somebody that, look, it's taking time. And it even applies to corporate too. If you tell corporate, because corporate understands that it's art, it's like, it's a struggle. It's been a struggle between finding the balance between what is corporate and what is art. But when you know that you want to do a good job, you give them a heads up beforehand and tell them that, look, it's going to take some time, but I'll get it to you the best way I can, and get it to them the best way you can. You win their trust, so that even if you don't meet deadlines, your trust is not lost. So yeah, I've never had a shitty job. Stay true to you, Charlie. Be as honest with yourself as possible. That's the first step in finding the source. If you really want to inspire people to do more with their music, start with you. Be more honest with what you can put to the table. Find that special thing. Learn more when it comes to your music. And when I say learn, I'm not saying that learn music theory. I don't even know my music theory. I don't play a piano. I don't play a guitar or any shit like that. But for me, I learn from listening and keeping an open mind, trying something new, just being able to do what you have to do earnestly. School is also important. I mean, it's not, I hated school, but some of the things or some of the methods that I apply to what I do right now is because I learned some of these things from school, and it's given me an open mind, and try and do something outside your passion so that you can fight to make time for your passion, so that you know that that's what you want to do at the end of the day. So just keep it true. Be confident in yourself. learn as much as possible, and pray a lot.